This is 98.9 DYUP Sugbo, the official campus radio of the University of the Philippines, Cebu. DYUP Sugbo operates 3 hours and 30 minutes daily and is streamed online on DYUP Sugbo, our official Facebook page, and on DYUP Sugbo, UP Cebu's YouTube channel. Our radio booth is located in the radio room of the College of Communication, Art and Science undergraduate building at the University of the Philippines, Cebu, Bernardo Avenue, Lahog, Cebu City. DYUP Sugbo is operated and maintained under the management of Gwyneth Antinga, Station Manager, along with Gabriel Emmanuel Sulamo, Assistant Internal Station Manager, and Rain Isabel Filizarta, Assistant External Station Manager. DYUP Sugbo is technically managed by its technical committee under the supervision of Caleb Josh Berandoy and Yeda Marie Lambuon. The technical heads, DYUP Sugbo's programs are produced and curated by the programming committee under the supervision of Franz Pauline Aberilla and Jared Owen Eagle, the programming heads. DYUP Sugbo's official Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify accounts are run by the publicity committee under Steffi Erika Gaki and Stephen Cuevas, the publicity heads. DYUP Sugbo's records and documents are managed by Ritricia Llagas, Secretary. DYUP Sugbo's Executive Committee, Technical Committee, Programming Committee, and Publicity Committee are under the supervision of Sir Maurice J.T. Villaester, DYUP's advisor. DYUP Sugbo 98.9, Kauban Nimo, is now signing on.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, helas ang sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa likid mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng mag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinatang tulang awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iingin, ang bituin at araw niya kailan ang may di magtitingin. Lumalang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng
Ride the airwaves and come realize
There's a lot to learn and much to see. Come be updated here in UPC. Turn your radio on, you'll find your way. DYUP's here to save the day.
DYUP, Kauban mo. You will never be alone. Bringing you the hottest, latest in the zone. DYUP, Kauban mo. DYUP, Kauban mo. You will never be alone. Bringing you the hottest, latest in the zone. DYUP, Kauban mo.
If the world's heavy, don't give up. Raise your voice, find and do its time.
Yes, we hear you, you are not alone. Radio's not dead, yes, we are on.
DYUP Kauban nimo.
Bisan asa man kamo adto, music o balita nga bangko.
Adi akini paras imo, maskin ikaw lang usa.
Daghan o bisag asa.
DYUP di kabiyaan, andam kang pagsilbihan.
There's a lot to learn and much to see. Come be updated here in UPC. Turn your radio on, you'll find your way. DYUP's here to save the day.
DYUP, Kauban mo. You will never be alone. Bringing you the hottest, latest in the zone. DYUP, Kauban mo. DYUP, Kauban mo. You will never be alone. Bringing you the hottest, latest in the zone. DYUP, Kauban mo.
Kauban mo.
Kauban mo, kauban mo,
DYUP, Kauban mo.
Heto na naman tayo sa puntong hindi ko alam kung ano bang meron tayo. Ako ngayon'y naguguluhan, pinipigilan kong mahulog. Umibig nang walang kasiguraduhan, di hayaan na muling matulog ang aking puso at muli pang masaktan. Kung di ka sigurado, pwede ba wag na lang, wag nang magagsaya ng panahon. Pakiusap ko lang sana'y wag nang paglalaruan. Pagod na ako sa mga ganon. Ayoko ng ganyang laro. Ayoko ng laro. Ayoko ng ganyang laro. Ayoko ng laro. Magpapakita ng motibo, ngunit biglang di magpaparamdam. Ano ba talaga ang gusto mo? Seryosohan o laro-laro lang? Pinipigilan kong mahulog. Umibig lang walang kasiguraduhan, di hayaan na muling maturog ang aking puso at muli pang masaktan. Kung di ka sigurado, pwede ba wag na lang, wag nang magagsaya.
Live on air from the University of the Philippines Cebu radio booth in service of the people. This is 98.9 DYUP Sugbo, Kauban mo.
Maayong adlaw, UP Cebu. I am Mike Navales.
And I am Caleb Josh Birandoy.
You're listening to Ayo UP Cebu.
The beat of campus, the pulse of news.
For the headlines.
Friars exhort CBRT to finish before Fiesta Seniors religious activities.
OFW on Indonesian death row set to return home after 14 years.
CEGP Cebu Provincial Congress gathers Cebu campus publications.
Zeus Coffee celebrates first win, eyes future victories.
And Bel Mariano debuts Disney's first Filipino song, Anong Daratnan.
Today is Thursday, November 2024. Time check mga eskolar ng bayan, 10:36 in the morning. Good morning mga isko, giskaan to our fellow listeners both online and on demand.
Yes, no, good morning Mike
Morning,
and
Caleb.
good morning UP Cebu. The weather this morning was a bit kanang rainy, no? Naiwan gamay. So we hope everyone was able to power through and get out of their beds kay kumbog na ang panahon, naglami siya ba ito.
Now, I hope that everyone continues to stay safe and dry. Bisag gawan-uwan, mag-fluctuate ang atong weather. The light shower will continue to persist until next week. So make sure to always have an umbrella with you. Bahalag, murag init-init, pero make sure lang good para assurance nga in case if mag-uwan kinatay shield, di ba?
Yes, sinuod no mga isko and iska, and sa tanan ng mga kauban diha, it's important yun nga atong ampingan atong mga kagalingon, especially since many of us are starting na sa mga final nga requirements na to, no? Padung final season na gyud padung, and nagkadaghan na gyud ang atong mga i-pass nga requirements. So important gyud nga atong i-take care ang ato ang health.
Yes. And now, moving on mga iskar ng bayan to our top stories. Friars exhort CBRT to finish before Fiesta Seniors religious activities. Handful weeks until the Feast of Señor Santo Niño, the friars at the Basilica Minore del Santo Niño or BMSM are requesting the Cebu Bus Rapid Transit or CBRT management to hasten the construction along Osmeña Boulevard for the welfare of the devotees this January 2025. In a press conference on Tuesday, November 19, Father Jan Ayon Miranda, member of the Fiesta Señor Steering Committee, stated that the ongoing building of the BRT in Cebu City was one of the difficulties they face in getting ready for the Fiesta Señor. Compared to the proposed routes last year, which would pass through several streets in the city, new routes has to be made due to the ongoing CBRT to prioritize safety to the devotees. Miranda also expressed their hope that the BRT would be completed by December 16, the first day of the 9-day novena mass for Christmas or Simbang Gabi or Misa de Gallo, and not extend until the fiestas activities.
Now for the national news, OFW on Indonesian death row set to return home after 14 years. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced yesterday, November 20, 2024, that Mary Jane Veloso, a overseas Filipino worker who has been on Indonesian death row for over 14 years due to drug trafficking charges, is set to return to the Philippines. Despite her return, however, Veloso's freedom remains uncertain as legal custody will remain with Indonesia. According to the Department of Foreign Affairs or DFA under Secretary Eduardo de Vega, the Philippines was originally negotiating for a reduction of her sentence but is now negotiating Veloso's transfer under Indonesia's new policies for returning foreign prisoners. De Vega added, however, that her immediate clemency is not realistic upon her return, and Veloso is expected to be detained at the Correctional Institute for Women in Mandaluyong while discussions continue. Her return marks a significant diplomatic agreement between the two countries, but her freedom depends on ongoing negotiations and legal processes.
For more local news, CEGP Cebu Provincial Congress gathers Cebu campus publications. Ria Cabog has the news.
Campus publications across Cebu assembled for the College Editors Guild of the Philippines, or CEGP, Cebu Provincial Congress last Saturday, November 16 at University of the Philippines, Cebu. The Congress was composed of publications such as Sugani, Lanog, Saire, Today's Carolinian, The Nation Builder, Forward Publications, and the Sicilian Gazette. During the assembly, the publications had a discussion and reported updates from their respective organizations. Most of them shared that they are facing censorship and budget cuts. Additionally, the CEGP Cebu announced its new executive committee for 2024 to 2025, wherein COMOP's Assistant Secretary General for Records, Nestle June Rivera, was appointed as a Secretary General for Publications. As the oldest and broadest intercollegiate alliance of student publications in the country and in the Asia-Pacific region, CEGP Cebu remains committed in upholding press freedom and students' democratic rights. Ria Kabug, DYUP Sugbo. Campus
Don't leave our broadcast as we have more news to share with you.
Oh, naunsa man ang pamati, Amaya.
Laban man akong ulos kay, oy.
Hala, narabatay resitron. Naunsa di ay ka.
Nauwanan manggugugahapon, day. Wala ko kadalas akong payong. Hays.
Maola gini. Sa panahon rin nga ting-uwan, mag-amping ta kanunay. Pagdala pirmi og payong aron di masakit. Mas maayo pod nga mag-inom og vitamins kada adlaw para lagsik ang panlawas. Maminaw ta kanunay sa mga weather report sa balita aron updated pirmi. Kung maglain ang pamati, duol dayon sa atong UP Cebu Clinic para maalalayan dayon ka.
As scholars ng bayan, mag-amping kita kanunay.
This reminder is brought to you by DYUP Sugbo. DYUP Sugbo, kauban nimo.
You're listening to Sai Ayo UP Cebu, your daily dose of fresh news and updates. Explore the heart of UP Cebu and beyond its commitment to bringing relevant and timely information. Stay in the know with Sai Ayo UP Cebu, the beat of campus, the pulse of news.
Nay, bakit kahit nasa trabaho ka, may breast milk pa rin akong naiinom dito sa bahay? Kaya pala ito ang ginagawa mo. Pinag-iipon mo ako ng breast milk habang nandun ka. Tapos, iniiwan mo rito para kahit umalis ka na, hindi ako magugutom. Pati pagkain meron. Kaya mula nung maliit pa ako, hanggang ngayon, walang problema. Galing mo talaga, Nay.
And now we're back. You're still listening to Sai Ayo UP Cebu. Time check 10:44 in the morning. So, maayong buntag sa pagbalik no sa atong paminawog sa mga eskolar na bayan karon nga naminaw sa atua. So, lately Caleb no kanang makita nato sa mga Freedom Wall ang usa sa mga hinaing the grievances of those people, particularly sa fine arts students, of the lack of student spaces nga ilang na face sa pagbuhat sa ilang plates. Unsa man imong maingon anak DJ Caleb? DJ
No, it's very unfortunate yun no Mike nga they have to daghan pa kayo sila proseso nga agian para lang makagamit og rooms nga in the first place nga ilaha jud it's for them to use good kay kanang rooms biya na sa fine arts niya. So dapat freely ra gyud sila makabuhat sa ilang plates diha without the need for lengthy processes no.
Particularly karon nga season Caleb no nga kanang finals na daghan kay sila deadline sa plates work needed gud nila spaces para makabuhat kay kanang if muuli pa sila then di ba inconvenient kay nga magdala pa sila dagko kay nga mga canvas sa ilang pag-commute so more mas difficult yun siya whereas if atong i-allocate or tagaan natong spaces ang atong fine art students or like students in general nga katong mga vacant nga rooms nga ma-occupy nila at some allocated time like scheduled nga time then i-ensure lang kanang malimpyo or like kanang the same ra gihapon ang pag set or like the set, like arrangements sa chairs o ang kalimpyo kay maas isa gyapon sa unsa ilang pagpasulod diba?
Yes. In ana jud no kay dili jud biya ka makadali lang og buhat sa imong plates like sa kiosks.
Yes.
Like daghan og tawo nya no gubot jud siya nya wa kay tarong kabut nga sa imong canvas, sa imong materials so dili jud lalim no nga nga wala jud kay tarong nga space as a fine art student nga you're trying to kanang finish your plates no, daghan nga plates samot na this final season as you mentioned.
So at mag-cite tag usa ka mga post sa Freedom Wall Caleb no kanang sa UPC Freedom Wall 2 number 5227 ano siya, you know, all this talk about fine art students being displaced and taking up other student spaces really dives into home how no one benefits from the very strict gatekeeping sa studios. Kinsa pa man di ayaw mo gamit ana na spaces, everyone loses. It's to the point that even other colleges na disturbo na because of this. It's so unfair as someone who's renting raon niya nga wala pa G space sa boarding house. Additionally, layo pa jud asa na lang ko mag-work ani. What is the use of these studios if kami mismo dili pagamiton? Isa pud na ang security guards sa mas stricto pa sa professors sa thesis. So hearing this grievances from this poster, like original poster sa kanina post Caleb no kanang murag maluoy ta kay kanang
tinuod
daghan kita diri sa population sa UP Cebu, then ang here nga mga buildings kay na mga vacant spaces pero dili magamit, so ma-compromise ang mga students nga ado sa mga vacant spaces nga available, tapos murag makasagabal kay daghan na gani, like murag diverse na ang people nga uban kay nag-use og laptop nga kanang nag-study, then sila kay nagbuhat og canvas nga kanang daghan pa jud kay sila mga materials na murag nabay chances nga hugaw kay paint biya, so murag
tinuod
risk go gyud kaayo ang ilang situation.
Yeah, so di jud lilim no. So I hope nga mapangitaan ni og kanang resolution no nga matabangan pud in town ang ato ang mga fine arts students nga they can kanang makatarong sila o kanang gamit ani nga mga student spaces nga made for their program jud no, kaning mga studio kay para man gyud sa ilaha, so why not let them use it no.
So mas less ta ang restriction hopefully nga kanang
kanang
if dili siguro karon ma-resolve dayon, hopefully next sem no kanang makita na to nga mas loosen up na ang pag-restrict sa ila nga marag maka-vic open or like mas dali na silang makagamit silang studios nga para gyud sa ila. And apart from that no, dili na ang fine art students ang naglisod sa or naghatag og grievances towards the limited student spaces, especially karon nga finals nga ubay-ubay gyud nga ang need nga marag extensive readings nga kanang dapat mo ada sa library para magbasa og mga readings, then uban gyud na koy nakita nga post Caleb no kanang sa usa ka stat freshie nga nanagyud sila sa saog nagtanaw og YouTube video do like discussion about sa ilang lesson, which is sad kay kanang tungod sa limited mag-resort na lang ang mga students into like mangita og spaces para lang gyud makatuon sila. So we're hoping gyud nga sooner or later like mapadali good ang pagbuhat o pag-expose sa student spaces here sa UP Cebu.
Yes, and I think kanang daghan man gyud og student spaces may no I think ang kuan lang pod kay mas itarong siya og utilize siguro nga like mapagamit gyud siya og tarong sa mga estudyante sad kay same case with the fine art students na sila spaces pero lisod kayo ang proseso sa pagpagamit na nila, like murag mas kapuyo na nun sila sa proseso kaysa sa paghimo mismo sa ilahang plates. So mayunta nga mapangitaan ni siya og resolution as soon as possible. Right. Now for the latest updates in sports. After enduring a 20-game losing streak, Zeus Coffee has finally tasted victory in the Premier Volleyball League. Jem Estelia has the victory story.
A long-awaited victory was made at the Inares Center as the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells claimed their first win in the All-Filipino Conference, defeating NX led in 4 sets, 19-25, 25-23, 25-22, and finally 25-15. Team captain Clone Mondoñedo spoke with joy, saying this long-awaited win gives the team a newfound confidence. Veteran player Jov Gonzaga dominated with 20. Pick Thea Gagate showed promise, adding 16 points including 5 blocks. Coach Jerry Yee shared his excitement, saying the team's pieces are finally falling into place and he hopes this momentum continues. Next up, Zeus Coffee faces Galleries Towers on November 28, aiming to start a winning streak. This is Jem Estalia gikan sa DYUP Sugbo, Kauban nimo.
And for the latest happenings in the world of entertainment, Bel Mariano debuts Disney's first Filipino song, Anong Daratnan. At a special fan meet, rising star Bel Mariano unveiled her latest milestone performing Anong Daratnan. This song serves as a Filipino version of Beyond, the end credits single for the highly anticipated sequel to Disney's blockbuster hit Moana 2. This marks a historic moment as Anong Daratnan becomes first ever Filipino song featured in a Walt Disney Animation Studio film, showcasing the growing global recognition of Filipino talent. Adding to the Filipino pride, Nicole Scherzinger, the Filipino-American lead vocalist of the Pussycat Dolls, is part of the movie's voice cast. With Mariano's heartfelt song and Scherzinger's involvement, Disney's latest project brings even more Filipino representation to the global stage. For the recap,
Friars exhort CBRT to finish before Fiesta Senior's religious activities.
OFW and Indonesian death row set to return home after 14 years.
CEGP Cebu Provincial Congress gathers Cebu campus publications.
Zeus Coffee celebrates first win, eyes future victories.
And Bel Mariano debuts Disney's first Filipino song, Anong Daratnan.
So those were the top stories for today's broadcast.
Alright, no? So, mga grabe kayo itong mga balita karong buntaga, Mike, no? Aside sa atong weather, no? Ano po yung uwan-uwan. To asang very big story, no? About Mary Jane Veloso.
Yes.
The
Returning home after 14 years.
Yes, grabe kayo ang kaagi, no? On April 2010, kanang nilarga siya sa Indonesia, no? To work. As an overseas Filipino worker niya, nadakpan siya dito sa mga authorities kay ang iyang luggage kay na ay 2.6 kilograms I believe of heroin, no nga ang iyang katong luggage gihatag sa iyang employer, so victim siya of like drug trafficking niya. Murag na siya gyud na naangin gyud, no, siya gyud na priso and she has been on death row, no, for over 14 years niya. Kuan na gyud unta siya on 2015, pero nag-personal appeal si late former President Benigno Aquino III, no, moto ka nang wala siya nadayon o ka-execute. So, until karon, no, napiso gipon siya sa Indonesia, but there has been developments sa story niya. Makauli na gyud siya sa Philippines, however, she is not kanang free yet.
Yes.
No, i-detain gipon siya, but authorities are negotiating, no, Philippine government as well as the Indonesian government. Nag-negotiate pa sila karon and developing pa gyud ang case.
Hopefully, no, justice will be served good and truth will prevail sa situation sa atong gibalita ganina. And apart from that, no, kanang hapit na gyud ang Fiesta Senior. So ang mga friars like the priest in the Basilica Minore kay nag-express nga hopefully sooner kay mahuman na gyud ang CBRT para safe gyud ang atong pag-conduct sa mga religious activities sa Fiesta Senior, knowing nga kanang estimated millions ang maabot diri, di ba? Kanang knowing sad nga hapit na ang simbang gabi, then knowing Basilica Minore del Santo Niño daghan kay mga devotees nga moan na, so ang safety gyud ang atong dapat i-prioritize, and hopefully the management of CBRT kay mao nang ilang driving motivation nga humanon gyud ang pag-construct sa CBRT.
Yes, no, kay padung na pud biya ang sinulog, no, nya ara gyud biya ang agianan sa mga tawo sa mga kuan, mga sakyanan, sa kasinulog. So mayon ta nga ila ng hanayon para safe gyud ang mga tao sa upcoming activities.
Then, Thursday na karon mga scholar ng bayan, so hapit na gyud, usa na lang kaadlaw mag-weekend na ta, so excited na ba ka na, Caleb?
Yes, very much. Kita guro tanan Mike, excited na kayo for the weekend.
Dali urgent kay ni Agi ang week, then nag-post ang atong OSA sa filing leave of absence para sa next sem, I think so.
Yes.
So nakaka-option sa mga tigpaminaw karon, no, sa scholar ng bayan nga you have the option to file a leave or LOA or leave of absence. The deadline for filing of LOA is tomorrow. So if ganahan mo mag-file, mga guys, nga naminaw karon, napay deadline. So make sure to file your LOA before November 21, 2024 and so up until 11:59.
Yes, no, sumuo na siya mga scholar ng bayan. And speaking of paspas nga panahon,
Mga kauban, 35 days to go na lang, Pasko na.
yes, nagkaduol na lang jud mga kauban. So I'm sure excited na tang tanan no nga makapahuway o makaspend time with our loved ones. And don't worry, kay 35 days na lang paspas ra gyud kayo na.
Usa na lang jud kabuwan, mana Pasko na.
Yes.
So once again mga